So my ex-wife tried to use me. She's demanding all this child support, but guys, guess what? I found out she was spending the money on being a sugar mama. She was paying all these young dudes to give her attention. Guys, this story is crazy. Hey, my ex-wife told me to pay double the child support I was already paying her after the divorce, telling me that she lost yet another job and that her daughter's education was getting very pricey. And she kept adding on extracurricular activities and classes that were ridiculously pricey. Things weren't adding up, so I checked out her expenses from various sources and found out that she's been using all the child support to fund her habit of being a sugar mommy. Yeah, so I dragged her butt to court, and I got justice for myself and made sure my daughter's future was secure. Hey, this is my first post on here, and so, I don't know, I guess I'll say hello. I scoured here for a question that would match my story, but I never really found it after a lot of reading, so I'm posting this here anyways. I think what happened to me was very traumatizing, and I'll even say weird. So I'd like to post this as a life lesson and a warning to y'all divorcees out there. Beware! Take it from me, because after a divorce, beware of your ex-partner trying to exploit you. Because it happens more often than you can think. This incident plunged all my life savings and left me penniless for almost 2 months until I got my revenge. It also endangered my daughter, so make sure you fight for that custody when you know your ex-partner may not be able to parent your child carefully. Life has never been easy for me. Phil. Yeah, I've changed my real name, of course, due to privacy. A 54-year-old man trying to pick up the pieces after a bitter divorce. What I wasn't ever expecting. And I'd say the main reason why I'm posting here is to tell you about how the awful aftermath of my failed marriage led me down a path of betrayal, deception, monetary exploitation, and ultimately sweet, sweet redemption. I worked hard throughout my life, weathering the ups and downs of marriage only to find myself on the other side of a painful divorce with Billie, my ex-wife. Billie, a 52-year-old woman with a flair of drama, had become relentless in her pursuit of financial stability. Or so I thought until I found out what she was actually using the money for. Anyways. And when another job loss hit her, she saw it as an opportunity to exploit my generosity, demanding an absurd increase in child support payments. I honestly should have known that Billie would pull something like this, guys. I've known Billie ever since we were little kids. She was my neighbor back when we were small, and we started dating when we were in high school, and I've always thought that she was a bit freaky. I should have known that she'd be into this kind of stuff, and we'd fight all the time, even when we weren't married, but there were small, simple fights that ended in angry, intimate times, and we got married because her parents insisted on it. I guess that was a stupid thing, though, because I knew we did not get along well enough to be a husband and wife. We never intended on having children, and I think that affected Billie significantly. She had postpartum depression, and she was never really the same after that. She fell out of love first, and she would not talk to me. She'd fight all the time, and she'd go all out all the time, and I'm just assuming that she was cheating. But I used to let it go out of love, and eventually, too, just fell out of love. She'd never reciprocate my energy, and we'd had fights about our monetary situation, even though I was well off. When Maxine was 7, we had a major fight. She got physical and she threw a bottle at me, which ended up hitting Maxine. She needed stitches. It was obviously an accident, and she'd never intended to hurt Maxine, but I was done. I could not stay with that woman any longer, and I started to hate her at that point. It was truly my final straw. So, by Maxine's 8th birthday, we split with a messy divorce and a custody battle. I could not prove that Billie had hurt Maxine or that she was intending on hurting me. The court favored Billie because I used to work long hours to provide for us. I'd always scared of Billie's recklessness. Caught in the crossfire of our tumultuous relationship was our 12-year-old daughter. And to this date, I do not understand why Billie wanted Maxine's custody so badly. While we were married, I parented and took the lead with care of Maxine much, much more than Billie did. Billie never even wanted Maxine, and she was always resentful towards her. I think Billie took Maxine out of spite to get some sort of sick revenge. Her innocence became collateral damage in Billie's relentless pursuit of financial gain. Unbeknownst to me, Billie had delved into the world of sugar mama dating, used the extra child support money to fund her extravagant lifestyle and shower gifts upon her younger paramour, Kieran. He's 22. Of course, I did not know this, so I fulfilled her demands in the best interest of Maxine. It wasn't until Katie, a loyal friend and ex-coworker of Billie, noticed the change in her friend's behavior. And suspecting foul play, Katie could not stand idly by as Billie manipulated the legal system for her own gain. She tipped me off about Billie's secret life, setting in motion a sequence of events that would ultimately lead to justice being served. Katie called me up one day, and this was after Billie had demanded double the child support. She told me that Billie had left her job and she had a fight with the boss, and she resigned. Thankfully, before she could get fired, Katie told me that she'd rarely come to work, and she'd leave early. She informed me of a young lad named Kieran. He picked her up and they'd go places, and Billie would often put on Instagram stories with him. When Katie called Billie, concerned about Maxine and the care that she was receiving from Billie just said that she was fine alone at home, and this was extremely weird to me, as she had sent me a timetable with all Maxine's co-curricular activities and classes, so should not have been at home in the first place. I contacted Maxine's teachers, asking about her progress and schedule, then I got the shock of my life. Not only was Maxine not signed up for any activities and extra classes, but she was also missing school days. As in, she wasn't regularly attending class and would show up to school looking disheveled and messy. Her teacher told me she tried to reach Billie several times, but she would just avoid it and say it's because, that Maxine's teacher should mind her business and everything was fine at home. Yeah, turns out Billie had not even given my number to the school. She'd put down her second phone number as my contact details, and had I not shown up to the school directly, I would not have gotten to know all of this. At this point, I was fuming, so I went straight to their house to sort things out and get my facts straight. Billie wasn't there, but Maxine was. She was crying when she opened up the door and saw me and fell into my arms. It hurt me so much to see her like this. Ow. She had gotten her first period, and her mother wasn't answering her calls, leaving her disoriented and straight up confused. So I helped her by grabbing some feminine project for her and teaching her how to use it. She didn't even know what was going on, poor thing. So I explained the whole thing to her and said it's perfectly normal. I explained how it hurt sometimes and that she had to talk to her mother, her teachers, or me if she felt something was wrong or if the pain was simply too much. By this point, I was plain enraged at the fact that my 12-year-old daughter was alone at home, yet Billie would not even answer her phone. Anyways, I asked Maxine why she wasn't attending class regularly, and she said that Billie had told her it's her responsibility to wake up, make her breakfast, lunch, and go to school 8 kilometers away. Yeah, by the local bus because it's cheaper than the school bus. She apologized to me profusely, saying it's really hard for her to get used to communicating and, commuting and waking up all on her own. She'd missed the bus all the time, not being able to get to school as the next bus was an hour later and school did not allow students to show up late without a parent's note. She'd be alone, at home mostly, with almost nothing in the fridge except booze and last night's pizza. I cried. I don't usually cry, but my heart ached for my girl. She's become skinny and nervous, and I asked her why she didn't just call me instead, but guess what? She had the wrong number this whole time. Billie's given her the wrong number so she would not be able to reach me. Then I put Maxine to bed because she was exhausted, and did Maxine's laundry and the dishes, and made some meal prep so that she could just pop in the microwave and it'd come out ready for her lunchbox or to eat in general. Okay, this is where I did something that was kind of screwed up, and I may be the a-hole for it. I snooped through Billie's room and her laptop. I went through her emails, logged into her online bank account, and went through everything, hoping to find evidence of where she was spending the money I gave her for Maxine. I decided there and then that I was taking her to court for a reevaluation of custody. But turns out I had many other reasons to take her to court. When I saw her bank statement, I was absolutely flabbergasted, to say the least. Turns out she was getting consistent monthly payments of more than my entire salary from a man named Shane. I went through her emails to find out more, and then I found out that she inherited an estate with a mansion from her aunt. One I didn't even know about all these years. I knew Billie was well off, but I did not know her family had this much money. Anyway, she rented out the place to this guy named Shane, and he was paying her a ridiculous amount of money. But then, if she had such money, why was I fully taking the load of Maxine's expenses? In fact, why did she make me pay double the amount when she had so much money? Her last 10 payments were to someone named Kyrian, and others were to high-end luxury brands like Giorgio Armani, Louis Vuitton. Well, she was clearly splurging, and I also understand why she didn't even need to work with the amount of money she was getting. But then, what was she doing that was taking all her time and causing our daughter to feel neglected? I remembered how Katie mentioned Kyrian and how she was roaming around with an extremely younger man, so I accessed her Instagram. Yeah, no need to call me Joe Goldberg, I know I was wrong. I opened up her DMs and then I saw it. So many men, all so young, one of them 17, and she was flirting with them, sending them obscene pictures, and even receiving some yes from a 17-year-old. And she was paying them a huge amount of money. I realized what she was doing. She was being a sugar mommy for all these young boys. Ugh. Well, this was so predatory and so wrong, and I'm still absolutely disgusted. For those of you who don't know, sugar mommies refer to older, affluent women who financially support younger partners in exchange for, companionship, and often in romantic, intimate ways. So, now I was stuck with proving that Billie was exploiting me for child support, and I figured I'd talk to this tenant Shane, get evidence from there that she has a steady income, and that I'd talk to Maxine's teachers, getting her attendance records and pulling out chats that inform me of her so-called schedule. I'd get proof of negligence from Maxine herself, and how she was at home the entire time because I had her location history on Google Maps for safety reasons, of course. Guys, everything was starting to fall into place even before Billie knew I was aware of all her vile acts. I felt a certain sense of responsibility towards Maxine and the guy that she was exploiting, and obviously I felt wronged. How dare she siphon money off me? So yeah, with revenge in my heart and a burning desire to expose Billie's fraudulent actions, I decided to fight for custody once again. With the unwavering support of Katie, who was also sick to the stomach when I told her, I took the help of a tenacious lawyer to bring Billie to justice, and I gathered all my evidence, talked to the lawyer, got Shane and Maxine's teachers to be witnesses if they needed to, and then I filed a case for re-evaluation. The courtroom became the battleground for me and Billie, each side presenting their case with, fervor. I mean, she did not make much of a case, did she? Billie, in an attempt to maintain her facade and protect herself, spun a web of lies that literally only made it worse and dug her into a deeper hole. However, me and my legal team were relentless in our pursuit of justice of Maxine. Turns out, despite all the money she had, she did not give proper maintenance to the estate, and therefore the house did not clear health and safety codes. Also, she had cameras all over the house, and would use the house when Shane and his wife weren't around. I don't exactly know how it was brought up, but Shane found out and he was not happy. As the case went on, it became apparently obvious that Billie's actions weren't just a simple desire for the financial stability. It's usually pretty hard to prove in such cases that the child support was misused, but I formed such a strong case with my lawyer that the court had to see how I was right. The court discovered that she had committed fraud and perjury and had manipulated the legal system for personal gain. The judge, appalled by Billie's actions, not only ruled in my favor for full custody, but also imposed hefty fines on her for her fraudulent activities. Honestly, what a win for me. I got my daughter, I got my money back, and I think I also got justice. The revelation of Billie's sugar mama lifestyle shocked our small, narrow-minded community of pearl necklaces and golf clubs. The once respected woman found herself ostracized by friends and neighbors. Her reputation was irreparably damaged. Kirian, realizing that she was exploiting a minor, cheating on him with multiple people, and neglecting her own daughter, distanced himself from her, leaving Billie to face the consequences of her actions alone. In a surprising turn of events, as I mentioned briefly earlier, Shane, the tenant of the mansion owned by Billie, discovered the truth about her unethical practices. Outraged by her deceit and endangerment to Shane's family, Shane decided to take legal action to recover the excessive rent that he had paid under false pretenses. Billie, once living a life of luxury, put herself drowning in legal troubles and financial ruin. As the dust settled, I won against her, not just in securing custody of Maxine, but also in exposing the truth that Billie was trying so hard to hide. The community rallied around Maxine and me, offering support and sympathy in the aftermath of the scandal. It was nice having the legal system on your side instead of against this once, and also the entire tight-knit community was with us this time, so I know we can get past this quickly. Billie, facing the consequences of her actions, found herself alone and broken. Like, do whatever you want, but why get involved with a minor? Why exploit two families? Do it with your own money, right? The ill-gotten gains from her sugar mama escapades have evaporated, leaving her with nothing but regret and a tarnished reputation. I really hope she tries to make amends eventually, because I'm sure as hell not letting her around Maxine until she gets her crap together and repents for her literal crimes. The point of posting this online is honestly just to get things off of my chest, and also mild fear. Make sure to choose your partners wisely and don't have kids if you have problems. I learned the hard way, and Maxine had to suffer for it. Anyways, thank you for taking your time to read this, and any comments about what my next move should be would be very highly appreciated. Am I really in the right here, or am I just delusional? Should I have been less harsh on Billie? I mean, I basically destroyed her life, so... Anyways, have a great day, and I'll keep you updated on anything that happens. Bye! Update number 1. Hey guys, I'm back with an update, but first let me address the comments. Some of you said that it isn't right for me to take Maxine's custody because I work long hours and can't take care of my daughter better than Billie. First off, that is a terrible assumption. I think a robot or a monkey would raise my daughter better than Billie. Secondly, I work the second half of the day from home. It's a really cool system at our workplace where most of the first half we're working together and discussing tasks to do, and once we're assigned, we just go home and get to work. Still connected through emails, of course, and I'm in a higher post, so maybe it's a privilege that comes with higher status and more importance and irreplaceability in a company, but it allows me to look after Maxine and spend time with other people too while I'm working. Also, I'm not villainizing sugar mommies. People have their things they like and dynamic preferences. Everything is simply allowed to explore their own sexuality if they please. Of course, if you want to spend your money on younger people in return for romantic involvement, you know what? You do you. Do your thing. My problem was with several other things, like the exploitation of the child support I was providing for my daughter, the negligence in the care of my daughter, and the lack of parenting skills. My biggest concern, though, was the 17-year-old. Ugh, like, how did she think it was okay to be there with him? Anyways, thanks for all the comments, cheering me on being willing to be single father and how I'm so great for it. But I know some of y'all are the same people who would shame a single mother for getting knocked up by the wrong person or just being stupid in general. I'm just doing the bare minimum, and it's my responsibility. I love my daughter, and I think any good father would be willing to do whatever it takes for their children. Okay, now that I've addressed most of the comments, I know y'all were waiting to know what happened between Kirian and Billie, right? So let me give you the tea. So Kirian got married to someone his own age, obviously, but he got married to someone anyways. And guess who made a scene at his wedding? And if you guessed Billie, ding ding ding, you're right. So basically all the huge gifts that Kirian got from Billie, he sold them to fund his wedding. His wedding was huge, as Katie said. Also, Katie and I are a thing now. It's going pretty great. She's cut Billie off, but she still hears everything from their mutual friends. Anyways, Kirian really splurged on his wedding, and from what I heard, he's really happy with his girlfriend, and the two of them have gone to Java for their honeymoon. Sounds fun. Okay, so back to the tantrum that Billie threw at his wedding. She demanded all her gifts back for him, insisting that they weren't permanent, but only until they were together. She called his wife a snake and accused him of cheating while they were together. She yanked the bride's hair and said she deserved to be Kirian's bride, not this, witch. She even went on to beg Kirian and drop at his feet to take her back, and that she would give him the world. I guess Kirian chose love over money, though, because she was kicked out of the wedding by Kirian's mother, who, surprise, surprise, is the same age as us and was actually my classmate back in high school. You know what she called Billie as she dragged her out of the venue? She called her a cougar. Like, dang, woman, ain't that the truth? So Billie isn't getting Kirian back, clearly, but I hope she gets better. I hate how the kid and his parents refuse to press charges and are just letting it slide. To each their own. But I feel like Billie doesn't even know yet the implications and consequences of her actions. Anyways, that's it for the update. Have a great evening. Update number 2. Hey, I'm back for another update. Maxine is actually doing co-curricular activities this time, and she's actually interested in javelin. She's also learning the piano, and she's got class valedictorian in the bag this year. See, it was only a little push she needed to be good at things, and I knew she was a smarty right from the start. Of course, I'm not pressuring her, and all her co-curriculars have been chosen by her, and all her grades and assignments were completed without a word from me. I've given her independence, but she can always lean on me. Billie was not doing well these past few months, and she turned to alcoholism. Thankfully, not going to worse substances. Katie and I somehow steered her away from her addiction when a neighbor called Katie to tell her Billie passed out in the hallway and that she took her to the hospital. Katie and I obviously rushed there, and she went to AA meetings, meditation centers, detoxes, the whole deal before we let her meet Maxine again. She had visitation, but before her sobriety, she'd rarely come around to meet Maxine, except for this one incident. Billie was extremely drunk, like incapable of functioning type. This one weekend, she drove all the way to our house without calling us first, and I'm honestly so surprised that both she and the car were in one piece. The way that she was slobbering at our doorstep at 9 in the morning. And after I took her in, I reprimanded her for a whole half hour for the lives that she just endangered. Well, Maxine woke up and came into the living room, noticing her mother, much less sitting, more spread like slime over the couch, slurring on her words, and she still went to her warily, though. Billie embraced her in a crushing bear hug, and then they started talking like usual, and I could tell that Maxine was not okay and she was very uncomfortable. So I tried to pull her out of Billie's grubby grip, but as soon as I touched Maxine, Billie literally dug her claws like nails into her arms and screamed at me to back the heck off, scaring Maxine out of her wits. When Maxine tried to wiggle out of her arms and squeal, I noticed the trickle of blood down her arms from where Billie sank her nails. I was scared, really scared, because Billie seemed crazy, and I was worried she would hurt Maxine even worse. Then Katie entered the room with tea and cake and saw Maxine crying in fear. She yanked Maxine out of Billie's grip and slapped her so hard I thought I heard her jaw crack or something. Billie and Katie got into a physical altercation, a brawl, which obviously ended pretty quickly, and judging by Billie's drunken state, she was stealing to even move her arms around. Hey, at least I got to see a WWE-style KO live in action, minus the slight, skimpy outfits, I'd say. Anyways, short-lived. She was slumped over the couch for about 10 minutes, steering and mumbling while her wounds were tied up and iced. When she woke up, she was sober. We both agreed that she needed to get her crap straight or never come around Maxine again. Maxine got her vaccines and treatment for her nail marks from the doctor, and Billie decided not to show her face around for the next couple of months. Maxine wasn't too sad about her absence, though, or she did not let us know. Now, however, they're reworking their relationship, and I'm hoping everything will work out in the end for the better. Billie has been going to therapy, guys, and that's been so great so far. I'm not saying she's magically gotten better suddenly or that she's suddenly becoming a saint. No, that crap only happens in the movie. To be honest, we still have major arguments over parenting styles and Maxine, but I can also see the improvement in Billie. She's been so gentle with our daughter this whole time, making sure not to hurt her or say something wrong. She's cautious, and she's actually going to college now to finish off her degree and do a much better job. She's really trying to turn her life around, and I hope the best for her. Maxine still won't talk to her properly, but Billie isn't giving up, even while remaining respectful of Maxine's space. She'll come around eventually. All Billie can do is hope she heals, give her love, and how she's changed for the better. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this update. I'll let you guys know if anything else happens. I know you're all hooked in the comments. Okay, have a lovely day. Update number 3. Final update. Hey guys, I'm here with another update. Maxine's currently in the hospital, and I don't even know why I'm telling a bunch of random strangers on the internet. Perhaps I just need to take my mind off things. So Maxine, she has a hole in her heart. Ventricular septal defect, also known as VSD. It was minor, but she never mentioned having any difficulties before this, and the doctor we were with before this tried some procedure with a catheter or something that was not successful. So now we're here for the surgery, and I know they mostly are successful, and it's not really a big deal, but I'm still terrified as hell. I'm down here with Billie, waiting for the end of surgery, waiting for the doctors to confirm success, because, well, I know deep down that she's going to be fine. Billie's doing great. I mean, I would even say it's a miracle. An absolute miracle. Therapy's really gotten her to a good place. I mean, she's still irresponsible, but hey, you can't change someone's fundamental traits this early, can you? It'll take years to fix, and the doctors have come out. Let me tell you what happens as soon as I discuss it with the doctors. So, well, I'm back, and yes, the surgery, it was an absolute success. Obviously, my little angel can pull through practically anything, guys. But we have to take care because we can't let anything get to her or even stress her out at this point. Maxine's doing good with Billie, and they're kinda back to normal now. I'm happy for Billie, and I'm happy Maxine has an even larger support system now that Billie is here for good. Katie has reconciled with Billie as well. Though I do feel bad for Billie, still having some sort of resentment for Katie because, you know, Katie practically replaced her. According to Billie and the fight, it gets better with time. We can only wait and see, right? Okay, I'm guessing this is it, guys, because we're resolving everything and moving forward, and shall be acting like mature adults, hopefully. I've read a few comments from people saying I should stop Billie's visitation rights. I know I let her reconcile with Maxine, and I don't know if I did right or wrong, but I'm doing what Maxine wants. As for forgiveness, people have always had it in their heart to change, to reform, or the world would be pretty simple. But they do, so I think we should all be respectful of that. Alright, bye everyone, have a great weekend. So protecting Maxine was the priority for OP. However, we did find out that Billie was making a positive turn towards the end of the story and dedicating Billie's life towards recovery, therapy, and just overall positivity. And I do think that was a good end to today's story. However, I want to know your thoughts about it. What would you have done if you were in OP's position and you had to go through this court ruling and just all this stuff that we just went through? Let me know in the comment section down below, guys. Today's story was interesting. Let me know your craziest part you thought was down below. And if you're new to the channel, hello, welcome. I hope you're having a great day. My name's Mr. Reddito. I narrate stories every single day. And guess what? If you just can't get enough, I have multiple channels. Multiple videos per day, multiple channels. Check everything out down in the description, which also has one of my favorite playlists, which compiles some of my favorite stories throughout all the time I've been narrating them. Anyways, guys, thanks once again. I will see you tomorrow, hopefully. Have a great day, and well, you know, it's cool to be kind. Peace.